According to global statistics, a new human being is born every minute. If that's how fast the human population is growing, imagine the rate of animal population growth. There's probably an animal born every second. This is, however, not true for all the animals, because some are born once in 1,000 years. These are so rare that there may never be another one born like it. And in today's video, we'll be telling you about some of these amazing and extremely rare animals who probably won't have another one like them on this planet for a long time. But before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Number 12. The Two-Legged Dog. We can bet you never thought such a dog would actually exist, but here we are introducing you to Faith, the bipedal dog. The dog was actually born with 3 legs, but one of those unfortunately began to atrophy and had to be amputated. How many such dogs have you seen? At least now you can proudly say, 1. Faith was adopted by the sweet woman named Jude Stringfellow. According to her, she faced a lot of pressure from people who wanted her to get rid of the puppy. Almost every medical expert she consulted was of the opinion that Faith had to be euthanized. Jude, however, was determined to give Faith a fighting chance. She didn't want the poor dog to die unnecessarily. Her hard work and efforts were not futile because in a little while, she first taught the dog to hop and then walk on its 2 legs by the help of nothing but a spoon and some peanut butter. You have to admire the dog's willpower and the owner's affection. Faith's achievement was recognized in 2006 when she was given a rank of E5 Sergeant and became quite popular among the military personnel worldwide. Faith paid a visit to 2,300 wounded soldiers in hospitals and had an audience of over 2 million active soldiers over the years. That's quite an achievement. Number 11. The Four-Legged Duck. Who knew that ducks could be born with 4 legs? After all, what would they need 2 extra legs for anyway? Would you choose to have a 4-legged duck or a 2-legged one? Because you actually could have the choice. There really is a 4-legged duck out there. This duck is called Stumpy and was born in 2007 in New Forest, New Hampshire. The normal pair of legs had a hidden second pair that was cleverly tucked behind them. Can you imagine all the things you could do with an extra pair of legs? Nothing comes to mind, right? Because they aren't much use if you're a bipedal being. So this makes it easier for us to digest the fact that the year Stumpy was born, he lost one of the extra legs when he got caught in a fence. And to make things more weird, the next year his other leg also fell off. So now he only has 2 legs like any other normal duck. Experts think that the unusual physical condition Stumpy faced was caused by a rare mutation. Although we're not some accomplished scientist in genetic biology, even we think we could have guessed that. It doesn't take a genius to realize it was just a rare genetic anomaly. Number 10. Two-Headed Snake. There's no 2 opinions about being on guard with snakes. Surely it's an animal one should never trust. Sometimes the snake is so incredibly unique it's hard not to be fascinated by it. Imagine a snake, not just poisonous but two-faced too, and not just metaphorically like that friend who betrayed you back in high school. This bizarre creature was discovered by a family in Palm Harbor, Florida. Obviously, they had no idea how to even react to this creature. Both of the heads were able to move, flick their tongues, and react to movement in their surroundings. According to experts, this weird occurrence of a 2-headed snake can be attributed to a likely failure of 2 twins to separate during the embryo development stage. Therefore, the world ended up having to witness this bizarre 2-headed snake. It is, however, not working in the snake's favor. Apparently, having 2 heads is quite an obstacle in the way of getting things done. Since the 2 heads also have 2 different brains, they tend to conflict with one another and often end up pursuing different approaches, making it quite difficult to escape predators in time. So this snake may be rare, but it's unlikely it'll be around for long because of its poor survival abilities. Number 9. Octogoat. The name seems like Octogoat is some kind of a kid's TV show. Turns out it's actually a real animal and is truly as unique as it sounds. The Octogoat, as its name implies, is a goat with 8 legs. Imagine how surprised the Croatian farmer had been when he discovered that his newborn goat had 8 legs. The goat was born in 2014. Turns out that's not the craziest part because as it turns out this goat didn't just have 4 extra legs, it also had both male and female reproductive organs. The local vets thought that the unusual body condition of this goat resulted from an underdeveloped twin and the goat just adopted its unborn sibling's body parts while it was in the womb. Just another one of Mother Nature's weird moves, we guess. While the Octogoat may not have its own cartoon show yet, it has managed to become an internet sensation quite easily. After all, who wouldn't be curious to check out a goat with 8 legs and both male and female reproductive organs? Number 8. Snake with legs. We get it, it sounds pretty much impossible for a snake to have legs, but just wait and watch. It actually is very much possible. Even if it is a one-time occurrence, it did happen. Although the snake won't be able to walk its way to work, hey, it's better than nothing. David Martel had not expected to find a snake with legs while walking his university students around the Bürgermeister Müller Museum in Germany. Among the fossils, he spotted a little specimen of a snake, but its long body was packed with ribs. What was even more unusual was the rock it was stuck in, bearing the characteristics of the Brazilian cradle formation. This confused Martel, for snakes had never been discovered in that location, and definitely not that early. It was then that he noticed that the fossil had a pair of hind legs and a pair of tiny front legs. The fossil was labelled as unknown fossil in the museum. It's amazing because researchers throughout history have found snakes that are extinct now, but none with 4 legs. According to Martel, this is a once-in-a-lifetime groundbreaking discovery, and it truly does change our entire perspective regarding ancient species of extinct snakes. Number 7. The crooked neck giraffe. Giraffes are among the tallest of animals thanks to their extremely long and straight necks. Although even some giraffes might be born with unique characteristics like this one called Gemina, who is only 12 feet tall. She's famous for her unique neck deformity. Her neck isn't straight like all the other giraffes out there. Gemina was born in the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Animal Park, and at that time there wasn't any sign of this deformity. She was moved to Barbara Zoo when she was 1 year old. For the first couple of years, everything was fine, but after her 3rd year, her neck vertebrae started protruding out from the side of her neck. The x-rays of her neck were done to find out what exactly the problem was. These showed an almost 90-degree bend between the C3 and C4 vertebrae, but that was all they could find out. No one was able to pinpoint the reason behind her deformity, as there was no sign of any accident or injury that could have caused this bend. Despite this deformity, Gemina lived a long and healthy life to a ripe age of 22 years. She became quite popular at the zoo and attracted many visitors throughout her life. Number 6. Two-faced cat. Behaviourally speaking, it's safe to say all cats are two-faced. After all, they love to pretend they don't care for anything but actually want all your attention. Today's case is extraordinary because this cat actually has 2 faces. This cat is quite famous and no doubt a record breaker named Frank and Lewis. This is an extremely rare condition in cats. It's also unlikely for a Janus cat to live for longer with this deformity, but Frank and Lewis made it against the odds. In fact, they managed to live a long life healthily for 15 whole years. They even bagged a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest living Janus cat, for they managed to avoid the health problems that come with this condition. Scientists are not sure what exactly caused Janus cats, but probably some kind of genetic anomaly. Detailed genetic workup could help us find out the reasons, but since these cats live a very short time normally, researchers face some hurdles in doing that. Number 5. Pink grasshopper. Thinking of grasshoppers, little green bugs who can't manage to stay still come to mind, but turns out some of them can be other colours as well, like this one, a striking shade of pink. Alison Barger's son Brooks found this one-of-a-kind grasshopper, and for a while all he did was tell the little guy how cute he was. But later when Alison googled the bug, she realised her son had come across an extremely rare one. Pink grasshoppers are an outcome of a rare genetic mutation called erythrism. This affects the recessive gene similar to the phenomenon that causes albinism. Entomologists worldwide believe that the pink colour in grasshoppers is due to a recessive genetic trait, but some experts are of the view that this could have been a dominant trait in ancient grasshoppers that got wiped out by evolution, as the pink made them more visible to predators, unlike the green that camouflaged them. Is that really evolution though? Number 4. Giant wetapunga. Time to meet a new creature, guys. We're sure this one is going to gross you out a lot. This bug you see is called the wetapunga, and is also known as the Little Barrier Island giant weta. This unique insect is endemic to New Zealand and is recognised as the largest species of weta. The largest one ever found has been reported to weigh a whopping 2.5 ounces. There are around 11 species of weta out there, and 10 of these are protected by law as they're facing the threat of extinction. There's hardly any chance you'll find one of these out in the wild unless you're exploring an offshore island in New Zealand. Don't worry if you're terrified of the wetapunga, for it is quite an antisocial animal and it won't bother you. Number 3. Lucistic white alligator. And here we thought all alligators were supposed to be that gross swampy green. Turns out they can come out in all kinds of colours, like this Lucistic white alligator. And while we definitely agree it's a unique one, calling it ethereal is just an exaggeration. This alligator suffers from a condition called leucism that induces deep blue eyes and a hint of pigmentation in the alligators. Basically, it's an alligator with translucent skin and bright blue eyes. Maybe that's why people define them as gorgeous and beautiful. Unfortunately, there's only a few of these alligators out there because their translucent whitish skin fails to conceal them from predators, a luxury those ugly green swampy alligators have in abundance. Therefore, these alligators tend to die earlier than the others. Number 2. Two-headed pig. On number 2, we have the mythical two-headed pig for you guys. This adorable piggy is named Mara Clara and is considered a miracle pig. She was the last one to be delivered in a litter of 8 pigs. Born on a farm in a remote village in the Philippines, she's quite an intriguing creature, and the locals consider her a sign of luck for being born this way and being healthy despite that. Both her noses function perfectly, and both heads are able to suckle on the mother pig's teat. Typically, animals with polycephaly don't last long, but Mara Clara lasted against all odds. Before moving to number 1, take a look at this creature that's been discovered on the internet. No one has any idea what it is. This horrific-looking creature was found in South America, but it hasn't been named yet, so we'll just call it the weird baby rat thing. It seems to be a result of a crossover between a human infant, a rat, and probably a very ugly lizard. Some people think that this is just a fake find concocted by an attention seeker with the help of Photoshop and a wild imagination. What do you think? Number 1. Double-muscled whippet. Meet the legendary dog rightfully called the Arnold Schwarzenegger of dogs, called Wendy the Whippet. Wendy made headlines in 2007 when her naturally muscular figure was discovered to be 60 pounds of pure muscle. This is due to a rare genetic mutation that caused Wendy to develop a condition called double muscling. This condition tends to make animals visibly more muscular than their other normal fellows. She had the normal height of a whippet, but twice the weight. Before she passed, Wendy was part of a US genetic study targeted towards figuring out the reason behind this genetic anomaly, the results of which are a mystery to this date. So that was all about the most unique animals to have ever graced the face of Earth. Do tell us in the comment which one was your favourite, or which one grossed you out the most. We're happy to know either one. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. We'll be back again with another video with crazy facts to share with you guys. Until then, have a great time.